People, welcome back to the Langy 19 channel. My name's Adam. Today we're going to do another piece of spray paint art. I've got a new mask, so I'm dead excited to get going. Today what it's going to be, I think it's going to be sort of two planets crashing together, loads of fire, galaxy scene behind. Hope you enjoy. Cheers. Okay then guys, I'm going to talk you through this again. So what I'm doing here is I've made some stencils and I'm just going to spray on some dusting of black there so I can see the outline of the stencils. I made the stencils the other day. I was quite happy actually, especially with the smaller one, but the one on the roses one, the actual bit that lies against the paint is the middle bit, which is, you know, it should be, it basically means that I have to let the paint dry before I put the roses stencil down, which takes its time, but generally the stencils do come out better when you let the texture dry before you start painting anything else. So what I've done there, I'm creating that planet and I'm trying to get texture on it. So as you can see, I've put red, yellow, black, bit of blue on there to create some nice texture, and I've just put some paper on top and just dab in the little bits there to make it what I wanted. I've let that dry for a little bit, as I say, because of the roses stencil. Put a bit of highlighting on there as well. And now I'm going to start at the second planet. So the underlying colour on this one was light blue. Incidentally, what I've done, my light blue, as you can see on the left hand side on the board there, that it was coming out in splodges. So if anything like that ever happens to you, all I've literally done is replace the tip, replace the nozzle on the spray can. So, and it's I thought I was literally going to have to throw it away and waste loads of paint, but changing the nozzle has really improved it. So underlying colour, and then I've laid some green and some yellow, and it was meant to be look like a bit of like an Earth-like planet from a distance, if you know what I mean. With you know, you might be able to see some mountains and it's sea and a bit of land and things like that. So putting the highlights on that again, let that dry. Bit of shadow in there on the black. Let that dry, and then I'm going to put the stencils back on so that that one's dried now. I wouldn't have really had to do that with this one because the stencil stands out from the painting. But now I'm going to go around and create the black on the right hand all over the rest of the painting. So the stencils stand out obviously, and it's like a sort of meant to be like a planetary scene. So I'm going to lay the black on quite thick here so it stands out. And then I'm going to flick some white stars on. One thing that, thinking back on it now, because I record the audio while I'm watching the video, one thing that I would have liked to have done and put in the video is to put like an exploding supernova. I've got quite good at those now. On previous videos you can see that I've messed up on them, but the secret is to not lay on the thick too much so it doesn't blend against the black paint. So I'm getting quite good at those, but I forgot to put it on one of these now. I think I was concentrating on on getting the fire too much, and then once I got it the way I wanted it, I just wanted to leave it and not touch it. But I mean, I've made a little mistake there on the left hand side. I've obviously laid on the white stars a bit too much on the left. Basically I forgot to flick to the side before I flick on the painting. So the other ones, they look quite realistic, the stars in the background, but on the left hand side they come out a bit too thick and a bit too blob like. So it doesn't look, you know, it doesn't look too bad, but again, not the way I wanted it. So this is the fire that I've created. So I've laid on yellow, orange, it's actually a neon orange, a red and a black, and I'm creating some texture. I don't know if you can see this, but the blue is obviously underneath the yellow. The blue of the planet is underneath the yellow, so that's actually coming through. So that's really annoyed me, and obviously some black as well. So it's really annoyed me, and I've had to sort of have a little think. So what I tried to do is sort of blend it a little bit more, but obviously it just looks like a big blob of paint. So I really wasn't happy. So I tried to go over it again with yellow to see if I could, you know, change the colour of it, and then start all over again with a bit of red, bit of orange, and then go over a black and try and recreate the texture and make it a bit more vivid. So again, doing exactly the same thing as last time, and it's not really worked. So what did I do? I went away and had a little think and thought, right, okay, what did I do wrong? I've seen other artists on YouTube and other sites, and I thought, what did I do differently? So I thought, right, okay, it's definitely the blue that's underneath, so I need to basically scrape off the blue where I want the fire to stand out. So that's exactly what I've done. So I've gone over with some clear coat there, so that it wets the paint and you're able to work with it again. And then I've got a palette knife, and I'm literally going over and scraping off the paint where I want the fire to be, where I want the outline of it to be, and just wipe it on a piece of paper on the side there. So hopefully that when I lay on the yellow this time, then that will be the underlying colour, and it'll look a lot more vivid. Looks like a big sweet in the middle of the two planets there. So I've let that dry a little bit, and I'm going back over with yellow and then orange. Same process really. Bit of red. I mean, with all this spraying, it has made the planets a bit duller. I was a little bit annoyed about that. And that just there as well, where I've gone over with the yellow again at the top, that made the planets a bit duller as well. But I think you'll agree that that looks 10 times better than what it was. Stands out a lot more, looks a lot more realistic. You can tell what's going on rather than a big blob of paint. And that's almost done there. Just going over a bit of yellow and a bit of white again on the top. There it is. Okay then guys, here it is. Here's the finished product. I'm not really happy with it. I think it looks okay, but I could have done with the planets looking a bit more defined, a bit more realistic. So yeah, that's the video. Thanks very much again for coming to watch. If you want this one, by the way, put in the description down below. I want it a lot. And subscribe to me, as you're not getting it. And like and subscribe for more videos. Cheers.